Hopefully my big ass head is not in the way. It kind of is. Okay, hold on. Let me move myself. Dun, 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 dun. Ah, there we go. Ha! Perfect. All right, who's ready? Who's ready? I'm excited. I'm actually really excited. I'm so excited for tonight's stream. My streams have been so sporadic and weird, and I don't have a schedule right now because of the moving stuff going on. And I've been having to pack everything, and it's been sucking so much ass. I can't even tell you. So I'm really happy to hang out with you guys tonight and talk about the South, my home. I love being from the South. I'm very proud of that. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Okay. Yeah. You guys hear it okay?
Why is the South so much different than the rest of the United States? Every region and sub-region in the US has cultural differences and quirks that might be considered odd in other regions. The poster child for this, of course, is the Deep South: Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and South Carolina. Other southern states have some of the same differences, they just have a little bit more in the Deep South. We ran a survey and asked what region is the most unique when you compare it to the other regions in the US. The South won by a landslide. In this video, we're going to explore what those differences are. Some of you will see some of these things in other regions, but they're probably not as big a deal as it is in the South and the Deep South. When I was in college, I did a few papers on this subject, and I was heavy into cultural geography. After World War II and US presidents, the cultural differences between the regions in the United States is what I've spent a majority of my time reading about over the years. I find this fascinating. Always have. So in this video, we're going to take a look and find out why the Deep South is f***ing weird compared to the rest of the country. Got it?
Hey! This guy better fucking relax.
Get it? Good. Let's take a look. The history. The southern United States is a region that has interested both its own people and outsiders for a very long time. Its rich mix of culture, history, and values make it different from the rest of the country.
You know, I went out today. I went and borrowed my friend's slow cooker and got stuff to make my boiled peanuts. And I passed, well, it's not uncommon anything, but I passed a cotton field on my way home. And I thought about that. I was like, we're probably going to talk about that tonight.
Country. One of the main reasons the South is so unique, it's history, especially the times when there was slavery and eventually the Civil War. Before the Civil War, the southern states depended on growing crops like cotton on giant farms, and they used enslaved people to do the work. Big farms and plantations were the main source of revenue for the Deep South, and it was very profitable. I mean, when you don't have to pay your labor, anything's profitable, I guess. Even though slavery ended in the United States over 150 years ago, its effects are still seen on how different races interact and the Southern way of life.
Oh, this is going to be good. I want to hear about this.
The Civil War, which for the most part was about slavery and state rights. Some people argue it's just about state rights. Well, okay, but you were enslaving human.
Yeah, North Florida is Southern. You have Floribama there, where the Alabama and Florida state line meet each other. Very Southern there. But further than that, Florida is geographically the South, but I don't think it's like the South. You know what I mean?
Beings. A lot of people will argue that it was about state rights. It wasn't about slavery. No, they were trying to end slavery in the United States, which is 100% wrong, no matter how you explain it. So you don't have a right to do it. These days, not everyone sees things that way in the South, and I get that. But some do, and most of the United States finds that very strange. But back during the Civil War, it made Southerners feel proud that they were standing up for their state rights, at least how they saw it. A lot of that pride is still a thing in the southern states. Even today, things like...
Why does he sound so disappointed? A lot of that southern pride is still prevalent.
Confederate flag and statues of Confederate leaders bring up mixed feelings across the country, but they mean a lot to the people in the South. This history has shaped a strong sense of independence and a desire to keep Southern traditions alive. When you know the backstory to that, as you meet a lot of Southern people, you could see where it's coming from now. You could tell that they have this big thing about independence and pride in their state or their region. The only place you'll find independence like that in the United States that's as strong as it is here are the western states where it was kind of frontierish, like Wyoming, Montana, and Nevada. Probably throw Idaho in there too, but I don't think it's as strong there.
I think all of you should just move to the South.
The Southern drawl.
If you don't live in the South, just come on down.
Every region has their accent. Outside of Boston, there's probably no other accent that is as obvious and unique than the South. The Southern United States has a handful of different dialects, with the Deep South having two, really. The main one being Southern United States English. That's what they call it. You also have Cajun. There could be an argument, too, that New Orleans has their own. You also have Texas English, Appalachian English, Black Southern English. But what we're focusing on this one is the Southern drawl. This is a type of accent that has developed over hundreds of years, just like any accent does. But
also, I'm dropping frames and I don't know why, so I'm sorry. Am I laggy? Am I laggy? Or are we fine? Hopefully we're fine.
Foundation of the Southern drawl was set back in the late 1700s, early 1800s. The beginnings of this accent goes all the way back to around the mid 1700s.
Hi, Celestium! Hi! Hi, cutie! Welcome in! Hello, hello! I am! I hope you're doing well too! Hi! It's so good to have you here. Yeah, Cajun definitely has French influence. Yeah. You guys will hear, we're actually going to watch a video tonight about different Southern accents. So to some people, they probably sound the same, but to a Southerner, you can tell the difference. That's for sure. Yeah.
Wealthy British traders started to speak without the R sound in their words to show that they were from a higher social class. And you can hear that in Boston. It's a little watered down these days. I mean, the Boston accent isn't as...
Can you guys give, mods, can you give Celeste a shout out, please? I would very much appreciate that. Thank you.
Thick as it once was. But, you know, they say, like the old jokes, park the car. There's no R. They kind of replaced the R with an H. Instead of saying park the car, they say park the car. I'm horrible at accents, but you know what I'm talking about. Now, down in the South about the same time, things were a bit different. People from northern England who were not as rich and settled in the South, they continued to say the R sound. This is where the Southern drawl began. It was almost like a distinction between the common man and the rich people. The rich people used it to show status, and the poor people, in some cases, exaggerated it to show the distinction between the two. Now, it is important to note that there are different accents in the South that have a similar accent, but they don't say the R's. There's a few other tweaks to it, and there's some saying.
I found a video about that kind of describes how I am with my Southern accent. I can't get rid of it fully, but I do try to like enunciate myself a little bit so people can understand me a little bit better when I stream. But yeah, we'll talk about that.
And there's some words that are used there that aren't used other places. Words like fixin', which is fixing, yonder, like over yonder. Doohickey is one too. Now, a lot of people use that all over the country.
My grandma used to say washer. You put your clothes in the washer. The washer.
But that originates in the South. Doohickey. Give me some sugar, like give me a kiss or a hug or whatever, or some sort of affection. That's a Southern saying. Also, one I've always liked and I actually used, picked it up from my family that's from the South, is carry me. Like carry me to the store, carry me home. It not literally carrying you, it's like give me a ride. And of course, outside the Deep South, you have like Texas with y'all. Quit being ugly. That's a Southern saying. Meaning quit being a pain in the butt. One of the absolute best things is when they use bless your heart. Now, I talked about this in other videos. Oh, no, you don't talk about that. Okay, hold on. I need my freaking phone charger. Hold on. Sorry. My phone died. Okay, I'm back. Okay, there we go. Yeah, bless your heart. You don't want to hear. Listen, if an old timer says to you, "Oh, bless your heart," she or he is about to say some shit. You're about to hear some shit. That's all I'm going to say. Bless your heart is a nice thing to say to someone. Oh, bless your heart, you know. That's very common for Southerns to say, but they don't just use it as a sign of affection. They also use it as a little backhanded thing when they think you're dumb. Almost like, oh, bless his heart. He's too dumb to figure it out, but at least he's trying. That's what they kind of mean when they say bless your heart sometimes.
Bless your
One of those
heart.
phrases that has many different uses.
Up.
Sort of like the word dude in California, or the F word in New Jersey and New York. Also in the South, you have things like, say, a Coke. I'm going to get a Coke. To Southerners,
Nani,
this could be
your heart.
Shut up. Oh my God. Thank you for the doll hair. Thank you.
any carbonated drink. It doesn't have to be a Coke. You could have
Coke
in your mind, you're going to get a 7-Up, but you're going to say, I'm going to go get a Coke. Plum is another good one. She's plumb tired out. She was plumb crazy. Means totally or absolutely. I had a conversation about this with a British guy that used to work for my brother years ago. And I was explaining that the South, sometimes you can't understand what they're talking about if you're from other parts of the country.
Yeah,
Said
that's
they have
why
that in
I
England
try
too,
to
called
not-
Manchester.
Not do that too much. Hi, Raiders. Hi, Nyan. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you. Welcome in. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was thinking that too. I can see your booty.
The economics. Economically, the
Booty
South's
shot.
focus on farming played a big role in making it unique. Unlike the more
Hey, don't worry about that. You're not. Nobody's too small. Thank you. Thank you so much. I very much appreciate it. Welcome in, guys.
industrialized North, the South's economy was based on crops and farming. This created a
And
different way
chickens.
of sharing money and a social system where there were clear differences between
Thank you for the
landowners,
follow.
farm
Thank
workers,
you.
and enslaved people back in the day. This economic gap and the reliance on farming have influenced how the South does politics and how people act, setting it apart from the more industrial North. Obviously, the South is changing now. You've got Atlanta is a pretty serious tech spot with movies being made there all the time now. Florida has some things going on. It's a lot different than it used to be,
Atlanta
but a
is
lot of
a lot
that
different
carries
than,
over. It becomes
living in,
part
like,
of
the
their culture.
Appalachians.
People from outside the South see it, they think it's kind of strange. The South has a history of a simpler life. A lot of that has to do with that farming type lifestyle, where you work the land. That's how this region of the United States started
I'm
out.
from the
and
deep
that's how
South,
they
yeah.
became what they are today. So sure, things have changed, but that mentality and culture will stick with them forever. Religion. Religion and a strong sense of being conservative have also
Listen,
helped make
if you come down to the South, especially down here in the deep South Bible Belt, there is a church on every corner. It doesn't matter. You could be out in the middle of fucking the sticks, bumfuck nowhere. All you can see is pig farms, and there you can bet your ass there's gonna be a church on the corner there.
the southern states a little bit different. For
Yeah.
a long time, the South has been known for its strong belief in evangelical Christianity, which really affects their lifestyle, like politics, values, and families. This has made the South more traditional and conservative on social matters, which is unlike the more open and diverse views of other parts of the country. Obviously, not everyone in the South is into religion, but more than any other part
That
of the
is
country,
true.
the percentages are higher here, especially in the Deep South. I mean, the Deep South is in the Bible Belt. The Bible Belt encompasses all the southern states, except for the southern tip of Texas and the southern tip of Florida, where all those immoral people are in Miami. So a lot of people from different parts of the country might find their devotion, or at least the amount of people
Yeah,
that
it's mostly.
are into Christianity.
I think mostly Southern Baptist. Around here is like the highest percentage of religion. Yeah.
A little odd compared to where they're from. I mean, not saying other states don't have religion. They're just a little, I don't want to say feverish about it. They're just a little more into it than other parts of the country, and it's obvious. The Southern culture. The Southern culture is full of interesting things like food, music.
Yum.
The Southern culture has become famous all over the world, and that's how most people know about the South. It's through the music, through the food. These things have played a big
Yum.
role
Oh,
in
this is gonna
keeping
make me
the
hungry.
Southern
Oh, God.
traditions alive and strong, making the region even more
I had shrimp and grits the other day, and it was fucking delicious. Delicious. I think it was like yesterday, wasn't it? I think. So good.
unique compared to the rest of the country. Many, many years ago, when the Berlin Wall came down and people started crossing just back, it was all over the news. This teenage guy, he might have been 20 or something, came across the border and they were interviewing people and they're all, how does this feel? He's all, it's great. I'm going to go to America. That's what first thing he said. They're all, why do you want to go to America? barbecues, Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want to go to America?
I was just like, oh my God, this guy wants to make it to America so he could see Leonard Skinner. I don't even know if they were performing back then, but still. I was like, Leonard Skinner, the guy just comes from a communist country, gets a little freedom. He's like, I'm going to see Leonard Skinner. And in case you don't know, Leonard Skinner is probably one of the most successful bands to ever come out of Alabama. That band was like the founding fathers of Southern rock. In my personal opinion, I think the music, more than anything else, has played a big part in letting the South be known outside the United States and North America. Think all the way back to B.B. King, Elvis, the Marshall Tucker Band, Charlie Daniels Band from back in the day, John Lee Hooker, Wilson Pickett, Howlin' Wolf, and even the Allman Brothers from Jacksonville, Florida.
I love the Allman Brothers.
In terms of politics, the South has usually leaned more towards conservative beliefs compared to other places in the country. The South, especially the Deep South, is considered very red, very Republican. It's like they could always count on winning the southern states, especially the Deep South. Last couple elections, Georgia's been looking a little iffy, but the rest of the southern states are solid red states. It's like every election, you know they're going to win those, and you know the Democrats are going to win California and New York. The southern states have been supporting conservative Republicans for decades. They just seem to fit the political views and the priorities that the southern states want, for the most part. Whenever I say something like that, you always get a bunch of people going, well, I voted for the Democrats and I live in Mississippi. Whenever we talk about states, we're talking about averages. Everyone's different. You're always going to have some outliers. But for the most part, the South is very red. This is another strange thing that you'll find in the South and not as much in other parts of the country. People openly talk politics, and they complain about politics to complete strangers, just like it's normal small talk. Some parts of the country, you'll go, how about this day? Yeah, this weather's killing me. I can't stop sweating. That's how a lot of conversations.
Yeah, they'll be like, Vane has boobgina, but how about them politics? You know what I mean?
Conversations happen with people you don't know in public in most of the country. In the South, it's not terribly unusual to have a conversation with a complete stranger and they start off with these damn politicians. The country's going to hell in a handbasket, that type stuff. I've had a few people bring that up in the comment section when we've done things on southern states or southern cities. They'll say something like they moved to a southern state after living in Nevada most of their life, and they are surprised how openly aggressive these people are about politics and how casually they just discuss it. Most of the time, people try and avoid politics with total strangers. Not in the South. Years ago, I saw a YouTube video where the guy's interviewing people, southern people. They were living in a trailer, and this guy just starts going off about these damn politicians, giving handouts to everyone, and no one wants to work. And he's on a rant, and all of a sudden, this woman's voice from inside was like, Charlie, what are you talking about? You've been on disability and Social Security for 10 years. He's all, but I need that. The way the cameraman pulled the camera away from him was just, it spoke volumes. He was just like, oh God. But politics are definitely a big difference in the South compared to other parts of the country. Sure, you have places in the Midwest that are Republican states, but they don't get into it as much as they do in the South, especially the Deep South. And I think a lot of that has to do with their distrust of the government. No other part of this country hates the government like the southern states do. And that feeling can be traced back to the Civil War and beyond. So in conclusion, the southern United States stands out because of its mix of history, economy, society, and politics. Slavery and the Civil War, the focus on farming, strong religious beliefs, and conservative values have all made the South have its own identity. Even as the country has changed over time, the South has held on to a lot of its traditions and ways of life, making it a region that is special and interesting in the big picture of the United States.
So pretty.
All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, and be nice to each other.
I don't know if you guys learned anything from this video. I didn't. I was hoping he'd bring up a little bit more interesting stuff, but you know what? It's fine. First video, it's just the first video. We're just getting warmed up. We're just getting warmed up. That's all. Yeah, it was educational. Yeah, it was about some things. But I want to see more things.
Inbreds, drugs, poverty. Appalachia is the media's favorite punching bag. But is any of that real? To find out, we went deep into the mountains of Georgia.
You can't run us out, you can't stomp us out.
Our destination was Rabun County, where Deliverance, the movie that made Appalachia the villain, was shot. Deliverance's story of Appalachian inbreds terrorizing a group of city folk has shaped America's perception of the region for decades. We wanted to know what was truth and what was fiction.
A lot of the locals do not like the movie just because of the way it portrayed us.
The trip started in Atlanta. Progressive, modern, urban, but just a couple of hours north, things looked completely different. The city, gone, replaced by the country and the hills. We were headed as deep into the mountains as we could go. On the way there, though, we stopped to talk to people about the area.
Are hillbillies still a thing?
My neighbors would consider hillbillies, I guess, because they backwoods country and ain't got no sense.
The first thing we learned was that this was a deeply conservative region.
When somebody starts talking about this transgender junk and killing babies and all this kind of stuff, there ain't no way I'd vote for him.
The people here are quick to remind you, Appalachia isn't just the country. It's something else entirely. A different culture, a different pace, a different history.
One earlier today.
Yet, like the country, Appalachia loves Donald Trump, its Bibles, and its barbecue. Our destination was in the mountains, but we stopped on the way to hear stories like Christian's, a Marine Corps veteran turned beekeeper who waved us down on the roadside to ask if we needed help. That's Appalachia, a place where strangers don't stay strangers for long.
Where are you from? My grandma literally lived like right where that light pole is. If you turn right there. So what's the deal around here? I mean, what's it like? I mean, crap. There's not a whole lot to do unless you're into nature. The difference between like hillbillies and rednecks. Redneck is gonna be like your dipper, probably a loud gay truck. The real hillbilly, like a real bad one. I mean, those are the rebel flag, racist usually. They'll fight for tooth and nail to say that's not what that flag means, bro.
Okay, listen, I have some videos about this, and I'm gonna tell you now that is not what that flag means. This guy's a fucking moron. Don't listen to this guy.
Still see that around? Dude, they have a store next to Walmart. It's literally a rebel store.
Where's that? We don't want to go.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out. Yeah,
that's some good shit. I would go there. I'd buy so much stuff.
I mean, there's gonna be, they're still fighting the good fight. They think the South will rise again.
That is not what people think that. Okay, whatever.
Something, dude, I don't know.
Forget the Confederacy. Tradition is alive here in many ways. Many towns have markets like this.
Yeah, it's called a rebel store because the flag is referred to as the rebel flag. So, you know.
Where people from the mountains come to trade stories, sell what they've made, and share a little of what they know. This and other traditions remain more intact in Appalachia than just about anywhere else in the country.
I was raised in
I would buy that! Oh my god, you guys see that thing? That is awesome! I would so buy that. Look how fucking cool that is.
Else in the country.
I was raised in the Tennessee mountains.
Hell yeah!
I moved up here. My wife's parents, they lived up here.
Where you were raised, were there paved roads, electricity?
No. I thought we were rich because we had a two-seater outhouse. Past Atlanta, then you're in the South. But up here, no.
How's that different?
The people, their attitudes and stuff, and you can tell by the way they actually act. Like you get down into Atlanta, everybody thinks their shit don't stink, you know. And me, I don't care. I've had people in Atlanta try to hijack me on my other truck, and I carry a 45 right on my damn seat. One black guy came up and said, "Get out of the truck, we're taking it." And I just took my pistol, stuck it up the window. I said, "Well, which one of you down? There's one to die first." Because I'll leave your ass laying in the road to drive off. I'll go home, smash the barrel on the gun, put a brand new barrel in, and they can't tie me to shit.
Carry right now?
If you're still watching and don't trust corporate media to share the reality of the country, hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot more videos coming from the forgotten corners of America and the world, beginning with Appalachia and then the Rust Belt. There may be no scene more associated with Appalachia than this. Billy was 15 when he played the Banjo Boy, but when Hollywood left, Billy stayed. And when Deliverance was nominated for Best Picture, Billy ended up spending—
Have you guys seen— yeah, I was going to say, you sure do got a pretty mouth. Have you guys seen Deliverance? Have you guys ever seen that movie? It's actually a good movie.
Years working at a Walmart, unable to afford his medical bills. He still lives nearby and his relatives—
My grandparents used to watch it a lot, so I've seen it a lot.
Run this diner.
Billy's story was Billy didn't get any money from it, or got very little money.
He got very little money, yes. I mean, they portrayed us pretty badly in the movie. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the locals do not like the movie just because of the way it portrayed us, so.
We learned where that banjo scene was shot and went to take a look. In 1972, it was a dirt road and wood shack.
So you saw the video?
That is such a pretty house. What the hell? Look how pretty that house is.
Dirt road, hillbilly playing the banjo and everything. This is it right now. Obviously a lot different. Now that being said though, this is still a remote and rugged area. We'll take a walk over here where there's some houses that kind of capture that.
Yeah, but that's perfect, right? A really pretty house like that on mountain land and nobody around.
There's like a dozen dogs just came running off this property over there.
Oh my God! That is so fucking common around here. Where I used to live before I moved here, my closest neighbor had a fucking pack of dogs, and he just let those assholes run around. And around here, you can't. Oh my God! You can't call like animal control and have them come get them. They're not coming out there. They're not coming out there. That's not a thing. Okay. You basically, it's going to sound bad. It doesn't live in the South. But if that dog, I think I called like animal control once and I was like, I can't remember what the dog did. I think it like attacked something on an animal or something on my yard. And they were like, well, and I was like, well, what should I do? They're like, well, if they come back over there, you can just shoot them. That's how it is around here.
There, and there's something going on. We're gonna go take a look. There's another one, dude.
Because they were attacking animals, like they were attacking people's chickens and stuff like that.
How many dogs do they have?
They're like, you don't understand. They're not like domesticated dogs. They're like basically wild. They have a pack mentality. And they're not like the dogs that people keep in their house and stuff like that. They're not like that. Yeah. Very calming.
A house up, we met this girl.
What's up?
Hey.
What you guys got?
12.
12?
Wow.
Yeah, we got more up at the house.
Good guy.
She told us that if we really wanted to understand Appalachia, we needed to go deeper. But she warned us, be careful. Moments before we had talked to her, her neighbor came down with a gun and had threatened to shoot all of her dogs.
There's some crazy people on this road. Just letting y'all know.
Are there?
Don't trust him. He just threatened to shoot my dogs because his dogs ran after my dogs.
Those people around here have guns?
He had one in his hand just a couple minutes ago.
The guy that came running down here yelling?
Yeah. I was yelling at him back because he threatened to shoot my dogs, which he's already shot one of my dogs. This one he shot it with something it was right beside her heart.
He shot that little dog right there?
Yeah.
What the?
And she's my baby, for sure. And we've had problems with him. He's stolen stuff from us before. My dad doesn't like him. My dad wants him off this mountain, but there's a tin out there. When the cops come up here, he'll go out there and stay for a couple days. And there's guns up in there because I walked up there one time.
What's it like around here now?
Full of druggy people, for sure. Everyone that lives on this road is druggy people.
What kind of drugs?
Mainly fentanyl.
Really?
A guy just died from fentanyl.
There is a drug problem in the Appalachians a lot of time because there's not shit else to fucking do. So,
Man,
it'd be like that.
Good boy.
It do be like that.
So we got back in the car and we started driving deeper into the mountains in search of the mythical hillbilly.
Search of the mythical hillbilly. Well, I know a lot of those if you guys are still looking for one.
After a few hours of driving through the remote...
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for coming. And I hope you have a good night at work. Don't work yourself to death out there. All right.
Beauty of Georgian Appalachia, we spotted this man, Don.
Oh, you're getting off!
We were in
You just worked a 16-hour shift? Oh my God. Be safe driving home. Be safe. Be safe.
Middle of nowhere, deep in the mountains. If anyone was a hillbilly, he would be it.
We can all our food. We grow our food in our garden. My wife cans it. We're true blue-blooded Americans. What would happen if all the whites and all the blacks got along great all the time? What would it be?
Yeah, it's beautiful up here.
Where y'all out of Atlanta? A little turd.
How long you live around here?
35 years. When I come here, it was a dirt road. I wanted land. I was a trucker.
You need a place to store your trucks.
Well, that and work on this reason I got a big shop and everything. 5 I keep up.
What's your favorite?
That there's my baby, but the one I drive the best. You want to see my favorite?
Absolutely.
Come on in here.
Thank you.
But this is my little pride and joy right here. This is a 1941 military Cadillac.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Open the door and look in there.
Wow.
That's such a nice car.
This little before they paved the roads.
You have electricity out here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I got a generator too.
Okay.
We country folks survive.
City folk know that city folk don't know.
Well, nature. People in the city have no idea about this.
Yeah, you seem
This
super
is
chill.
nature. I mean, just like the Indians, this is all Cherokee land. All of this is Cherokee. You can dig up Cherokee stuff all over here. Arrows, everything. This was all Cherokee land at one time until the whites took it.
Yeah.
The whites did a very bad injustice. I mean, I'm a white person, but the government did a very bad injustice to the Indian. We can our food. We can all our food. We grow our food in our garden.
That's the dream, is it not? I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I would love to have like a big garden where I just grow all my own stuff and canning food. I would love that.
My wife cans it. She's an old country girl from Franklin, North Carolina, 20 miles up the road. You know, and
oh, is that where they're at? They're in North Carolina?
The mountain people are totally different. I know some people call them hillbillies, but they're not hillbillies. I mean, hillbillies live further away up in the woods, but don't get around nobody. The mountain people, they know you. They do anything for you. I got great neighbors. I mean, it ain't the almighty dollar. It's being neighborly. You know what I mean?
Good evening
neighborly.
to you.
We all try to help each other. We all try to look out for each other.
That is one big difference, I think, between like people I've talked to that are not from the South is if I say I was driving down the road here and I got a flat tire, I'm a small person, okay? I'm a small individual. There's no way I'm getting a tire off my car. I'm gonna tell you now. I've got noodle arms. It's not happening. I have never had to worry about being stranded on the side of the road. You can count that somebody around here is going to stop and they're going to help you. You don't have to worry about that. We take care of our own around here.
You know, I mean,
I have not. I know how to change a tire, but it's there's no way. I would not be able to like jack the car up or anything like that. There's no way.
We look out for the rich people over here.
So what's a hillbilly compared to a mountain person?
They usually just stay to their family. You know what I mean? They don't go into
Yeah, Southern hospitality is a very, very real thing.
Town much and stuff, you know. But, you know, I mean, they're good people. I've met some. I knew one that lived down the road before I even moved here when my sister lived there. He used to get a jug of moonshine, and when he got in trouble with his wife, he'd get on the moonshine, a jug of moonshine, get on his mule and a sleeping bag and his shotgun, and he'd go up in the hills.
By the way, it took me so long to find a video for this playlist about moonshine. Like making actual moonshine. It's very difficult to find videos and stuff like that.
He go in the hills for a week. It's down trouble. Me, I'm a history buff. I love history. One day we'll all be history.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I got a question about history.
Yeah.
So I know you got this flag on the front of your car here.
Uh-huh.
What does that mean? What does that mean to you?
Which, to be fair, there's a lot of popcorn videos on YouTube, but I wanted one that kind of showed like him making shine. You know what I mean?
What's that?
We're Southern heritage. It's our heritage. It's not racism. You know, everybody says, "Oh, you see a rebel flag." Yeah, that's racism. You want to see what I got on the back of it?
Absolutely.
Come on the back of it. Just because we're rebels, I mean, you know, there's an American flag. You know what
I mean? What are you saying? You know, having the rebel flag there, it's against the country. It's against.
Oh, they're not in North Carolina. I was wrong. They're in Georgia. I forgot. They're in Georgia.
No, it isn't. We're Americans too, but it's our heritage. You know?
That's right.
I was born in Chicago, so I'm basically a Yankee. Okay, I was born Yankee.
You got 6 weeks of Yankee, and then.
So I got 6 weeks of Yankee, and I was in Florida all my life.
Yeah.
Until 17 when I joined the military.
It's northwestern Georgia. Mm-hmm.
You know, we serve our country, and just because someone has a rebel flag, that ain't racism. I mean, I'd help anybody. I'd give you my whole shirt off my back if I need to. What would happen if all the whites and all the blacks got along great all the time? What would it be? It'd be harmony, right? But see, a lot of people push it back and forth. And I'd say the politicians do that. What's wrong with this country?
You know, people say the South is very racist. No, I'm not saying there's not racist people around here. But for the most part, it doesn't matter what color you are around here. We're a community. We're all neighbors and we all care about each other. So, you know. Because
they turn their face on God. If you turn your face on God, He'll turn your face on you. I don't know you from Adam's house, cat. I don't even know your name. But I'm talking to you. Yeah. Because you know why? Because I'm American and I believe in God.
So, and you say you got a whole garden up here that you grow everything in?
Yeah. You want to look at it?
Can we? I want to see it.
Let me go bother me.
Thank you, Don.
Chicken. So we have our chickens. This is my worm bed for fishing. We grow our own worms. This is all our garden area.
Telephone poles?
I put them all together, put them in the ground. They're in the ground 4 feet.
How many dogs you got? 6. So what are you growing here?
We grow everything. The raspberries. Look at the raspberries. These are wild raspberries out of the mountains. My wife and I went all around the mountains.
Some of my best memories from when I was a kid, for those of you that don't know, I was raised by a single parent. My dad was an amazing man. I talk him up all the time. I do. And we went fishing, I would say like, oh my God, at least 4 times a week. I basically fished constantly when I was a kid. And I am a very proud daddy's girl. Anyway, we would go, one of my favorite things to do when I was a kid with my dad was when it would rain, you know, all them night crawlers come up to the top of the soil. So when we were going to go fishing the next day, when it rained, we would go out at night with a flashlight and go out there and we'd grab all those night crawlers and just stick them in a cup. And we have them things for the next day.
Mountains pick them up out wild.
It's so fun.
They get as big as your finger. We grow potatoes, tomatoes, carrots. You just pull carrots out, made homemade potato soup the other day.
Wow.
We till the garden and everything. We use the chicken fertilizer, the chicken poop, put it in the garden. There's worms in there 6 inches long, buddy. They're like snakes, night crawlers and stuff. Look at that potato growing.
Potato.
That's a potato we threw in there growing.
Potato.
What the? No, that's cabbage. That's cabbage. This is a Harley shed. This is my Harley shed. This is what my Harley says. Tons of fishing poles, anything. People
you got everything you need.
Anything. You got too much. It's that cool when it's 100 degrees.
I mean, it's like crisp.
Yeah, look how clear the water. 478 feet deep.
You know, that's good.
Never find no better water. My wife lived up here all her life. She said never seen no better water. My father was born in 1903. I was born in 1959. He was 56 years old. And I asked him, when he was 80 years old, I said, Dad, you was born in 103. I said, you've seen from horse and buggy, the automobile, the planes, to rockets.
What a life. Can you imagine?
I said, what do you think? He says, son, I was a kid yesterday. You flip your fingers, that's how fast your life goes by.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you I'm gonna ask both of you what the answer of this is. What is the smallest thing in the world that makes the biggest difference? The smallest thing in the whole, it don't matter whatever you think, the smallest thing. You tell me what you think, what the smallest thing in the world makes the biggest difference.
A handshake.
What about you?
I was thinking an air molecule keeps us alive.
No, sir. Attitude. Your attitude is I mean, my father was 80 years old. He died at 81.
Redneck difference.
Just, you know, we're down to earth, but we stand our ground.
Do you consider yourself a redneck?
Yes, sir. I'm a redneck. I tell you, I got a redneck too, buddy. Okay? I'm a redneck.
Listen, rednecks are proud. They're proud to be rednecks. They'll tell you straight up they're a redneck.
And just like the old song, country people survive. We got a 4-wheel drive and a shotgun. You can't run us out. You can't stomp us out. You ain't gonna stomp us out. We're true blue-blooded Americans, born and raised here.
I would so hang out with this guy. I totally would. I would love to sit and just have a conversation with this guy. There's so many people just like this guy where I live too, and I'm lucky enough to get to talk to him if I go to the store or wherever I go.
Don had seen the mountains change. When he arrived there was no one else. Now, the house across the road from him is worth millions of dollars. Similar developments are cropping up elsewhere, and the city is encroaching.
But, you know, the rich people moving in. You know, everybody from the cities are moving up here.
Yeah.
If you look around, you'll see where they're putting houses all over the mountains.
Is it changing it out here for you?
Oh,
no, that's just my
taxes
accent.
went way up because
I usually just kind of like tuck it away when I stream, but you know what? We're just not going to tuck it away tonight.
this is the mansions and everything. They done sold that place 1, 2. They just sold it 2 or 3 months ago. Over $8 million. Really? Yes, sir, right there. $8 million.
The Appalachia Don knows and loves
free balling.
Taking us up to a river. He said, you're not going to believe this river, so he wants to show us that. We're following, it's a couple miles to get there.
Oh, it's so pretty.
This is where we come fishing. This is all national forest, all of it. This is unreal, ain't it? Look at this.
I just feel like sometimes if I let it out a little bit too much, sometimes people have a hard time understanding what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
Look how clear your water is. You drink this water, this rock comes off the rock. This is all full fish. But I mean, just to look at all this, I mean, look how clear that water is. Crystal clear.
Do you actually have an accent? Yeah, I have a fucking accent. It does come out, like, even when I'm trying to, like, tuck it away a little bit, it comes out anyway in some words that I say, no matter what, because there's just some words that I can't say without an accent regardless. But, you know.
That's the reason there's they won't let no industry in here, thank God. They don't want that water polluted like it is in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Nope.
Like, I think maybe if you're not Southern, you won't notice it when I normally stream, but it's there. Trust me, it is there.
Chemicals. What do you see here that you don't see all over the place? Trash.
Yeah.
You see them signs? There's signs all over the road. $1,000 fine. You throw shit out and you get caught and one of these people turn you in, you got a $1,000 ticket.
Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, it's just.
No.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I'm the same way. Like, if I hear somebody talking with a Southern accent, they just sound normal to me. So, I don't notice it, really.
Clean. This is persimmon community I live in, and us, the people, keep it clean. We actually have days.
That is so pretty, isn't it? That's
Don
so
told
pretty.
us he may not be around to see what happens next. After hours of talking, he casually mentioned that he had cancer and wasn't sure how long he'll live.
No.
55 years old and 385, you know?
No.
I'm still moving, brother. I'm gonna move. They're gonna have to cut my fingers off to get me, brother. I'm gonna hold on. You ever gonna forget this place?
Never.
I never will.
Never. Can't thank you enough, Don.
Oh, yeah.
Really.
He was
hope
at
he's
peace with it, he
okay.
said, because he'll give his land, his little piece of heaven, to his son and be laid to rest in the woods.
I'm passing everything down to my sibling. I mean, not my siblings, but my son. You know, and I told him, I said, if you ever sell a piece of land like this, you would never find it again.
No.
Whether alive or dead, Don said, he will be in the mountains. Subscribe for the rest of our
I hope
Appalachia
he's okay, and if not, I hope his family's doing all right.
series and our upcoming Rust Belt deep dive. Thank you for watching, and we will be back soon.